Hello, Year 13. It's Mr. Van Zommerplaag with the first of a series of tutorials showing you how to use Adobe Illustrator to create an ident for your TV series to use in your advertising campaign. Because we're all working remotely, the first of these tutorials is about accessing Adobe remotely. And so to do this, you're going to need some kind of computer, traditional computer, either a laptop or a desktop. And your first port of call will be the Ilkley Grammar School website, ilkleygrammarschool.com, as this is a way for you to get to the remote desktop so that you can access the Adobe software from home. So when you're in the Ilkley Grammar School website, click on Staff, and you'll see that there are some links. These are usually for teachers, but we've made arrangements for you to be given the same access to teachers, so you can use these links. And the one that I want you to access is this one, the remote desktop, not this one, not the replacement remote desktop. So click on remote desktop and you'll get a screen that looks something like this. Now I am actually, so that what I am showing you here is as close as possible to what you will see, I'm actually using my son's login. So I'm going to log in now. I have obviously blurred out his credentials. And there's a pull down box where it says domain, and by default it may be on this one, Ilkley Admin, but that's actually for teachers. Yours needs to be IGS. So make sure that's selected, click on OK, and then connect. So the system is logging in now, and what you should then see is a Windows screen. Of course I'm doing this on a Mac, but this is a virtual PC, so you'll be presented eventually when this is logged in with Windows, Microsoft Windows. Okay, so now we've logged in to the Ilkley Grammar School system. I should note I sped up the video there, but it did take a little while to log in, so don't give up if there's a pause while it's logging in. Of course, this is the Windows front screen, and to access Adobe Illustrator, we click on the Start menu, then All Programs, and then there's a folder called Adobe Design and Web Premium CS6. Just click in there, and then Illustrator CS6 is one of the options, as well as Photoshop, of course. So we'll click on Illustrator, and that should open up now. Okay, so the first thing that you'll notice when Illustrator opens up is that there is no document open. We have to create one at the very start, just because of the way that this system works on our school system. So the first thing that we'll be doing is clicking on the File menu and then New. And it wants us to give a title, so I recommend that you choose a title that is your own TV series. So I don't know, someone's idea was Sticks and Stones. So Sticks and Stones ident. Artboards means the number of pages that we need. In this case it's only one. And the size, I think we should probably start with A4. Maybe we'll do a landscape rather than a portrait, A4. And we don't need a bleed because this is only going to create an ident which is then going to be used in other applications, so that's all fine. Happy with that. What we also might want to look at is the color mode. Now, for there are really two types of color to be aware of in graphic design. The first is called CMYK, that stands for cyan, magenta, yellow, and K stands for black. So that would be for a print document, and RGB is for graphics that are intended to be displayed on a screen. Screens display colors in different ways using red, green, and blue, so that color system is called RGB. To be honest, for this application, Either is fine, but predominantly the ident would be used on screens. So I'm going to go with RGB, and I'm going to go for high resolution, and I'm going to click on OK. We now have a document open, a blank A4 document. And the next thing I'm going to tell you about is saving, which is important. I'll tell you a few things about the quirks of using the remote desktop. I say this from the bitter experience of having used it to access the school system from home as a teacher for the last 5 or 6 years. Saving is important. So when this document is opened, I'm going to click on Save As. And because this is connected to your school network, you can see this is Eric's login. So his system folder is here, and his documents, the shortcut to his documents are here. So if I click on his documents, this is his, so you'll have something very similar to this. And he's a good boy, so he's got a media folder, which you may not do actually, because so much of what we do is on OneDrive. So what I recommend that you do is create a new folder and call it maybe Media Unit 20, just so that you know that everything that you do whilst you're working remotely using this software is in one place. So I'm going to call it Media Unit 20, open that folder, and then click on Save. You will then get a window that looks like this, that's asking you to confirm the kind of file that you want, and it's fine to save it as an Illustrator CS6 file. Okay. What I recommend that you do while you are working in Illustrator, the school remote desktop system is not entirely stable. So for instance, if I was to change the size of this window, kind of ridiculously to be quite frank, but if I change the size of the window, it will log you out. So make sure that when you've got the window open, you leave it as it is while you're working, and you shouldn't run into too many problems. But just in case, I recommend that you just keep saving your work, maybe every couple of minutes, and you do that by pressing Control on your keyboard, and S is the shortcut to save. So that just saves then. Okay, so now we've got a document set up. It's saved into an appropriate folder in our school system, and we're ready to start designing. I'll see you in the next video.